Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows I am your host, Papa Joe. Thank you all for being here. Means a lot to me. Do me a favor. First things first, if you like the content on the show, smash those likes. We have several people watching live here, as we can tell in the chat. and we also have multiple people who watch this throughout the day and throughout the evening, etc., etc. Again, if you like the content, smash those likes. What ends up happening with those is that Google and YouTube will actually find other people who want to see or find this type of content, and then get that in front of them as well. So I think that the information here that we share and talk about on the show on a daily basis is worth the time to do it. So that's why I would not be doing it, as I've explained to you all, if it wasn't worth the time. So anyways, the information is rolling around in my head, just trying to get it out for everyone, and yeah, connect some dots, shed some light on some things, stuff like that. So anyways, I have a little frog in my throat today, so I do apologize for all of the throat clearing and stuff. Some coffee will help here. Definitely love that coffee. So, yeah, if you're watching live, we have a live chat running. Jump in, say hey, let me know you're there. So I got multiple platforms streaming here, and I don't know where you're all coming from, so at least say hi. Like the video with that, all that fun stuff. So, again, only if you like it. So, let's see here. One other thing here. Oh yeah, every day at 4:30, as long as nothing crazy happens, I have a Patreon show. I had one yesterday. Went over some really fun stuff. I am going to pull one thing out of that though, for today, just because I will tie into what I'm going to talk about today. So fun stuff. Alrighty. So the other thing I was going to talk about here. Oh yeah. So that's the Patreon shows. Scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's linked in the description of the channel. If you want to join, it's $5 a month. It's just really so I can have an unfiltered time of conversation with you all. Those of you who are in there, it means a lot to me that you are. Thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Also, if you want to have some really, really good tidbits and tricks and things like that around the crypto space, I highly recommend you join Crypto Confidential. It's also scrolling at the bottom screen and linked in the description of the channel. It is definitely worth the investment. The folks behind that are amazing people. They know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing with it. And the only way you're going to be able to get that kind of information is by signing up for that. So I digress. Sure does help the channel out if you guys do that. Those of you who are in there, you know it's really, 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 really good. So anyways, let's pop in the chat here. Who do we have in today? Good morning, good afternoon, Tom. How are you doing, my friend? We've got Crypto Disposition. Good morning. Thanks for popping in, being here. Bitcoin Management Jim, how is it going? Good afternoon. Kim, what's going on? How are you? Love it. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Clint Westwood in the house. Blah, 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 blah. I want to be inflated. We are inflated, bro. We really are. Holy moly, are we? We're just now, by the way, starting to see the effects of that, and it's going to seriously have its implications are going to be felt big time. Anyways, who else do we have here? Bitcoin Bull, what's up, man? How are you doing? Anyone want to go to Ottawa with me to recruiting and recruit about 435 people with stones to take new jobs or new job at the Capitol Rotunda? You're an interesting fella, sir. I mean, hey, it's worth the ask for sure. Divvy Daddy, what's up, brother? Good morning. How are you? And you're here? Okay. We need to hook up, whatever. Not like that. You know what I mean. We need to go and hang out. If there's time permitting, I don't know what you guys are doing, but it would be fantastic to at least see you and say, hey. Let's see. Diane, good morning. How are you? Good morning. Badass Accountant, what's up? How are you doing? Alrighty, who do we have here? Daddy-O, good morning. Good morning. Wow, we got a lot of people here. Likecoin Leader says, hey, what's up, Likecoin Leader? How are you doing, buddy? It's good to see you all here. Thanks for popping in. All right. Man, everyone's active this morning. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, let's see here. Who else? I didn't miss anyone, did I? I don't think I did. I hope I didn't miss anyone. If I did, I apologize. I'm sorry. All right, so let's jump in. I wanted to cover today some stuff, some industry trends that I've started noticing just because I'm still in the retail space. I'm still in the corporate America space, if you will. And a lot of different conversations taking place with different blockchain platform builders. So some of the we'll call it the enterprise blockchains, if you will. Uh, Different conversations that are starting to take place with there. The enterprise blockchain, I am in the process of architecting and building out some solutions for, and a couple other different things in the space. Just kind of wanted to talk about that because crypto and really blockchain is going to fundamentally change how we have um, our future. Okay, those of you who are young enough to remember, young enough because it wasn't too long ago to remember when the internet hit the market, right? When the internet hit the global economy, no one knew what it was. No one knew how it worked except for the techie people, right? So you got the IBMs, the Intels, the Microsofts, all these companies that were stood up around that time. Apple. When the internet became a thing, computing power became a thing, all these companies stood up. Well, guess what? Look at the blockchain space. Those are all companies, right? No one really knew how to operate the stock market like they do now. It's very different then. The stock market was very, very different. Now, once it became more of a digital type of thing and the internet became a thing, the stock market became a very different place. Those of you, listen to Bix Weir, how Alan Greenspan probably built the algorithms that are trading in the actual stock market, right? That are doing the different things. So it's very, very intriguing to see that we're kind of coming into a phase. It feels just like it. Some of us were kids back then. Some of us were in different type of industries and moved into the technology field back then. And we kind of look at it, and I look at it and I go, well, it feels very, very similar, right? If you think about like my kids and anyone around my generation, they grew up with technology in their hands. Earlier years for me, there were no computers, there was no internet, and then like our parents, nothing like that at all. Very, very different time period. And the technology is moving faster and faster and faster. Well, Q blockchain, you have a distributed and decentralized computer that can run anything you want on it for the most part. You can build your applications on it and they'll run from anywhere. Think about how like you have a mobile application on your phone. You go to your app store, whatever it is, you download it, and it runs locally on your phone. Well, in the not too far future, that's not going to run on your phone anymore. It's going to run on thousands of devices. It could be other people's phones, but it'll be distributed across thousands and millions of different devices. One massive computer, effectively, that cannot be turned off. Which is why blockchain technology is so powerful for some of the industries we're going to talk about here in just a minute. So let's jump right in. This first one I really wanted to bring up. It was from my Patreon yesterday. So Patreon users, this is very relevant. I think everyone needs to see this particular one because it is going to tie into very many big things. So let's jump in here. And I was just checking the chat here. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. All right, cool. All right, adding to stream here. BlackRock plans to offer crypto trading. Sources say there's 3 separate people who talk about this, right? There's the first little paragraph here. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, is preparing to offer cryptocurrency trading services, or a cryptocurrency trading service, to its investor clients, according to 3 separate people with knowledge of the plans. For those of you who don't know, BlackRock manages more than $10 trillion in assets for institutions. BlackRock owns at least everything. Well, okay, everything I've looked at that I've seen BlackRock's name as far as ownership is concerned, they own at least 1%, and in most cases more, of a stake in most businesses. And I say most businesses, I'm talking Fortune 500, Fortune 100 type companies, and bigger and smaller. So to put it into perspective for you, I did not know this until reading this particular article. Where is it at? I think it was this article. Hang on. Off the cuff fun here. Oh yeah, BlackRock owns 16.3% of MicroStrategies, which is Michael Saylor's company. Just to put it into perspective, $10 trillion trading platform into cryptos. $10 trillion is a lot. Even if they did 1 trillion, taking the market cap from fluctuating between 1 and 2 trillion up to between 2 and 3 trillion is a very big difference. Just even if they did 1 trillion, that's a big difference. All right. And the reason these types of funds are starting to have to offer crypto related trading, crypto related assets, crypto related products to their customers is because their customers are asking for them. People want in, and they want to do it through the institutions that they're used to and or they're used to trusting. They don't want to go learn it themselves. They just want these companies to go do it for them. Right? Which is why I bring up on their show and why I'm an advisor for Viva Capital. Viva Capital is a crypto only type of a firm where it is crypto done for you. And it is designed to help people who are used to that type of stuff, or if you just don't, or if you just have more than you're willing to or wanting to manage yourself, it's a great place to put it. They offer insurance, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really good stuff. If you want to know more about that kind of stuff, maybe I can do a whole show on Viva. Maybe I can actually interview the head of Viva. That would be really, really cool. Or some of the team in there. That'd be really cool. I don't know how that would look, but off the cuff here thinking, right? So anyways, this is coming into view at the same time, and y'all can't see that. I always forget to bump those up. The next financial crisis is in view here, right? Over the past 15 years, the risk of financial markets have shifted radically, and it is a big deal. It is a big deal. And markets have shifted. Let's see here. New investors have flooded in. Actually, really think it's not necessarily just new investors. I actually really think it's more the Federal Reserve. And here's why. I don't know if I covered it on this show or if it was my Patreon. I don't remember which one. But there was a statistic that I came across. Now, keep in mind, most statistics are made up on the spot. Totally fine. I get that. But the millennial generation, the Gen Z or Gen X. Is it Gen X? Who comes? Gen Z. The millennials, Gen Z, and whoever comes after that. Comes after the millennials. Effectively, they only own 3% of the stock markets, all stocks, only 3%. The baby boomers and those who are before them, the greatest generation, whatever. I don't know those things, what they're called. I don't care, actually, to be honest with you. Like our parents and our grandparents, etc. They own significantly more, like it was like 48, 50% of the stocks. Okay, that's a very big difference. However, millennials and newer are really big into crypto, like really big into crypto because of the ease of use. It's used, they get it, that kind of stuff, right? Just like they're big in the internet and all that kind of stuff. It's very, very, very tied together. Just understand that when these types of things, new investors flood in, no. When the Federal Reserve prints 80% of the current monetary supply, US dollar monetary supply in 2 years, that's your new investors. They're using that to prop the stock market up. Yeah, they really, really are. Follow the money. I say that to friends and family all the time. Follow the money. Just follow the money. You know, years ago, I was not good with money. I was not good at all. And had learned a lot of hard lessons. And scripture says in James, I think chapter 1, verse 5, specifically says to ask for wisdom and gives you, I'll call it a recipe to ask for wisdom. So I followed that for years and years. I humbly feel like God's answered that prayer for me, and continues to, but specifically with money and finances, economics, et cetera, et cetera. And when it comes down to it, if you look at the money and follow the money, it will take you very interesting places and you'll end up learning a lot. So follow the money. Legitimately follow the money. So anyways, a little bit of a shift here. I'm tying all this all together just because we're going into industry here, more economic related type things here. How Intel's entrance can change the Bitcoin mining landscape. With Intel set to present an ASIC geared for Bitcoin mining later this month, how will the computing giant reshape the industry's landscape? Now, I have not seen any information on the compute of this chip. I don't think really very few people have. They seem to be keeping it under wraps. Anywhere I've searched, I'm not being able to find any, like, here's the hash rate, here's the power consumption, etc. And I don't know if they're going to sell it as a service, because just to kind of put it into perspective, Intel's a hardware company and they sell their chips that go into servers like with Dell EMC or like VMware or like whatever the back end of all these different compute giants are. But the fact that they're bringing this in here, I wonder if they may sell this as a service, which would be very interesting, because as a service or SaaS platforms is typically how the industry in has gone from a enterprise level with compute. Now you go stand up a data center, you slap servers in a rack. It's very different. You're buying those off the shelf or through a vendor or whatever, and you're slapping them in the rack and you're adding compute to your environment. Or you go stand up a blade box, et cetera, et cetera. There's very, very, very various ways to do that kind of stuff. The fact that they're coming in and doing this with ASICs is very interesting to me, because they have the capability to put places like Bitmain out of business. They have that capability. It's very intriguing that they're joining into this right now. So anyways, New Surface is one of the largest computing chips makers in the world. Intel would give a presentation about an application-specific integrated circuit, or in other words, ASICs. ASIC is a hard-coded, it is a permanent coded chip that does one thing and one thing only, and very fast. They're gearing it specifically for Bitcoin mining at the International Solid State Circuits Conference, the ISSCC, a global forum for presentation of advances in solid state circuits like ASICs or storage, things like that, and systems on a chip. That's a very different discussion, very in the weeds. Systems on a chip is very in the weeds. Anyways, integrated circuits are very much so different now. Let's just put it that way. To be held online later this month. The first logical conclusion was that the company would be presenting a new chip it had developed specifically for the activity. Anyways, I am curious to see what this will produce. And they're saying that it will decrease energy use by 35%. I would like to just see it and test it myself, because they all say that, and that's not always the case. We'll see what happens. Intel is really, really good about their power, though. I mean, they're really, really good about it. So we'll see what happens. They have proprietary stuff that's very, very interesting. I would like to see in this. Now, I had a conversation with some of the Intel folks a couple of years ago, as I was at a work event, and they were there doing a presentation on their new chip for some of the servers we were looking at doing using. And it's very, very unique. It was a very, very unique conversation. It was like, hey, ASICs, are y'all looking into those or anything? He's like, yeah, we use them for different things. Primarily applications that they use are for protectionary circuitry around like nuclear plants, things like that, or like medical grade equipment, things like that. That need to have a specific application run constantly, perfectly, kind of thing. So there's lots of applications for ASICs. It's not just mining, by the way. So anyways, very, very interesting that this is coming into view now, especially since Bitmain is not US based, and Intel technically is. So it's very interesting that this is coming about right now. We'll see what happens. I am curious about that one. But realistically speaking, having the mining capabilities, the compute manufacturing, things like that, all tie into the future of blockchain, the future of applications around using blockchain technology. I pulled this up as it was just an example. I have been approached by different medical companies who want to look at doing blockchain related stuff, say for a medical records tool or something like that. And there are other companies that are out doing that stuff already. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, I can point you in the right direction. I can help architect it. Um, and how from a high level it should work functionally speaking, things like that. And very intriguing conversations, just to say the least. I have to be very careful what I say on those ones. So, blockchain technology is applied in several segments of providing care to public private institutions. First of all, blockchain removes a centralized approach to storing medical data, right? Medical EMR, right? Therefore, it enhances data privacy while enabling better transparency. For example, a patient could access and transfer all their records only by having an API key or their public private keys. Blockchain is everywhere and yet nowhere. No further no further physical relocation of records would be necessary. Other benefits include fast and secure remote coordinated medical care. Furthermore, blockchain would automate and optimize the storing, transporting, excuse me, and use of pharmaceutical products. Also, both blockchain and AI are indispensable for all kinds of clinical trials. Just to put it into perspective, travel is another industry. The travel industry is one of the most complex industries in the world. It combines accommodation services, transportation, food, and leisure services. Therefore, the travel industry needs a harmonious factor that would make all its sections work unanimously. Or whatever. Just think, guys and gals, how this would work from a perspective of traveling. It's amazing. These are just a few examples. Automotive. You know how many parts go into building a car? Where they come from, where they're sourced, what material is made out of them. You have all that built into the blockchain, the proof that it's there. You don't got to trust, you just verify. It is a trustless system. You just verify. As long as the data coming in is accurate, that's the thing. You got to make sure that the data going into the blockchain is accurate. Otherwise, it is garbage in, garbage out, right? And that is at the point of data ingestion. Now, if you could figure out how to get data ingestion done with a sensor, something like with, here, look at this one. Just a little tidbit for you all here. Ambrosis. I've talked about Ambrosis on my show before. Ambrosis, they are designing a high throughput and large data sets and fractional cost, optimizing DeFi, NFTs, and IoT. Now, one of the interesting things here, where is it? They've redone their website, so I'm trying to find it real quick. Basically, they are taking actual scanners like RFID antennas or smart label scanners, things like that, and they're putting it into a blockchain, creating the origin data that you would need to make sure that that's not garbage in, garbage out. So, networkable and automatable, interesting choice of words, devices, they are building devices to do this, bring security and proof of data, making it a source of truth for information that can be properly tracked and utilized. Up-to-date shipping reports and other trade documents, like bill of lading, ASNs, things like that. Bring reliable manufacturer and logistics information. Proof of compliance is maintained through automated reporting and decentralized transparent networks. So Ambrosis is a blockchain-based platform that is designed to take the scanners and put it into a blockchain system. Think about how that would be very beneficial for building a car or supply chain or whatever else. The entertainment industry is another example. Obviously, we all know banking and finance is another example, but government and public services is also another example of how the industry will be changing, right? It can improve citizens' data safety. It can enhance transparency of public institutions and streamline product procedures and eliminate unnecessary practices. Very, very interesting. Look here. Look here. Look here. Look here. Do you see that? Let me really blow them up. For example, blockchain can reduce election fraud and consolidate tax collection procedures. Taxation is theft. Again, everything on my show is not tax advice, financial advice, or legal advice. Do your own research. But election fraud is really good, really good example of how blockchain can be used. Anyways, I wanted to bring this one up here. If you guys have not seen this yet, I highly recommend you read this. I will put this in the chat here. I'm going to just kind of skim through it. You all can read it as you wish in depth, but it is the Forbes list of the top 50 companies in blockchain. Cryptocurrencies hog the spotlight, but blockchain's biggest innovations are below the surface, saving billions each year for the world's largest companies. The reason why we're coming into a financial crash and financial issues and all these economic things that are happening right now, the entire economy is going to collapse. I keep saying that. And you see it every day, all the different things that are coming down the pipe for this stuff. All right. Please understand that, like they're saying here, they really point this out. Cryptocurrencies hog the spotlight. Yeah, because people are making money, they're trading, blah, 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 blah. The real impact is blockchain technology. I will adhere to that forever. Just because you can run a node doesn't mean you understand what blockchain is. Just because you can set up and run the different applications on there doesn't mean you know how to program a smart contract or architect an entire system set up on a blockchain. It's a very, very different animal. And they connect to each other, but they're different. You may not know everything about it, and that's okay. You don't have to know everything about it, because you're always learning, right? Right? It's always fantastic to learn, but understand that blockchain is what's going to fundamentally change the economy going forward, just like the internet did. Not cryptocurrencies, blockchain. The reason being is because it is a very powerful system in and of itself. So let's see here. I didn't know this, but Adobe's in this. In October 2021, the company that makes Photoshop and the keeper of PDF format launched a content arbitration. Interesting. Which lets creators export their images directly to certain non-fungible token NFT exchanges. Very cool stuff. Directly out of Adobe, you can now create an NFT. Boom. Allianz, I'm not even gonna try. It's German, whatever. The insurance giant, I guess German insurance giant here. Allianz, whatever. I'm gonna tell you now, a lot of these company names make no sense to even try to pronounce. So forgive me ahead of time. 164 billion 12-month sales. Uses blockchain to streamline cross-border auto insurance claims in Europe. Big deal. Big deal. Anderson Hortz, arguably the largest crypto investor in the world. The venture capital shop, also known as A16Z, has raised around $3.1 billion in 3 dedicated blockchain funds over the past 3 years. That is huge. You got fund management, Ant Group, out of China in July 2020. This Alibaba affiliate has devoted 10,000 developers to blockchain. Already, they have created 30 applications generating over 100 million blockchain tracked documents, including patents, vouchers, and warehouse receipts. You guys see this? Anthem, India, 137 billion sales. Blue Cross Blue Shield licensed is testing a blockchain to try to speed up an Ukraine administration process known as coordination of benefits. Blockchain. You guys see where I'm going here? This is a list of 50 different things. It's a huge list, right? Let's see. Oh, Maersk. Okay, Maersk, the world's second largest container shipper, 54.5 billion in trailing 12 months. Okay, now counts 250 ports and 20 ocean carriers, using it as proprietary TradeLens blockchain. I actually have met with people here. They're not kidding when they say this, right? Which cuts time and reams of paperwork. Oh man, the paperwork that this saves in the amount of time. Holy crap, it's amazing. Out of tracking containers as they move through global seaports. Just understand, that's a big deal. Let's see here. I'm just keep going, just kind of scrolling through here. I'm just making a point here, right? You've got Block, right? The reason I have so much passion about Bitcoin is largely because of the model it demonstrates: a foundational internet technology that is not controlled or influenced by a single individual or entity. This is what the internet wants to be, and over time, more of it will be. He's not wrong. We all know about Block. Everyone's following Block, right? The 283-year-old bank has fully embraced the future the institution of Alexander Hamilton, started, now wants to be king of back office services for crypto ETFs. That's a big deal. The firm already has 90% of the market share in Canada, meaning it provides tax and administration services for almost 17 crypto ETF currently trading in up north. Big deal. Boeing. Did you guys know Boeing is doing this stuff? Boeing is partnering with China's Trust Flight, or Canada's, excuse me. I'm so used to seeing the word China. The developer RaceRox to build a so-called digital aircraft record system that helps airlines keep up with the required maintenance. Big stuff. Let's just go down here. There's like China Construction Bank using this, right? CME Group. In October, the dollar value of China, the CME exchange to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, crypto futures reached 7.4 billion daily. That's huge, temporarily making the CME the largest crypto derivatives exchange in the world, which is stupid that they're doing derivatives, but we'll get there. Coinbase, we all know about Coinbase. Now, who knows who the De Beers are? A $5.1 billion 12-month sales diamond producer has registered more than 400,000 stones, worth some $2 billion on its tracker, I guess, blockchain, up 50% since January 2021. The platform records a diamond's cut, color, clarity, and carat, then tracks it along the supply chain. Users can instantly verify the rock's origin and authenticity with a simple scan as it's mined, cut, polished, and sold, eliminating the need for costly, time-consuming mail-in verification. Tracker now has more than 30 industry participants, including Zales, Jared, and K Jewelers. Did you know that? Do you guys understand? Blockchain is going to fundamentally change this stuff. I'm only in the D's. I'm just gonna like Digital Currency Group. You guys know who them? Fidelity is doing this stuff. Okay. FTX, we all know that guy. Fujitsu is. Okay. Industry Commerce Bank of China. JP Morgan Chase. I don't really know what they're doing. I don't really care. They're going to not be there anyways. Lion Corporation. Just understand, people. MasterCard. We all know. I've talked about MasterCard. Meta. Facebook. MicroStrategies. We know about MicroStrategies. The National Basketball Association. The NBA's Top Shot platform has transformed the sports memorabilia business, bringing NFTs to the average fan. NCR. This is really interesting. A 141-year-old maker of cash registers and ATMs wants to create a massive global network of 1.5 million locations that will allow passerbys to buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. That's a big deal. Just understand, Oracle. By 2030, some 40% of all new cars will be electric. Demand for cobalt use in EV batteries is soaring. Nearly 2/3 of the world's cobalt supply is mined in the domestic republic of Congo, a war-torn country where child labor. Basically, they're going to make sure that the cobalt is responsibly sourced, tracking that kind of stuff. At PayPal, just realize this stuff is not a joke. Samsung, big name, Signature Bank, okay? Big name type stuff, all right? Just understand blockchain technology is going to be what changes. Visa, Walmart. After hundreds of Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli infections last year and millions of pounds of recalled food, the FDA finally seems to be getting serious about food safety. It announced in September 2020 that manufacturers and retailers will henceforth be responsible for tracking more than a dozen types of risky foods, such as romaine lettuce, soft cheeses, and fish, at every point along the supply chain in order to identify and toss contaminated items more rapidly. The retailer is already tracking 1,500 items in the blockchain, triple that of a year ago. Its food safety initiatives are becoming more visible to shoppers. A recent Sam's Club pilot in China lets shoppers scan QR code to gain information about where the product was grown and when it was harvested. And I know this for a fact. How long it sat on the truck in the yard? Did the truck ever lose AC power? Did the freezer ever lose power? It's massive. Blockchain is huge. I don't care if people sit there and say they're people who sit there and they are all about Bitcoin maxis. Okay, y'all have your Bitcoin. I've got some too. Everyone should. Litecoin, great. Go ahead. Blockchain is the new business. Blockchain is the new internet. You want to know how to really make a financial and generational type wealth for you and your families? Figure out what blockchains are being used in these companies and figure out how you can support those companies in building what they're doing. This is the new stock market, folks. The stock market we have today is all built on an old antiquated system of centralized banking, the dollar system. It's going away. It is dead. It is no more. Please understand, this is where the future of finance, the future of trading, the future of business, the future of technology will be blockchain. It will be. Understand this, please. And prepare yourselves for it. Not financial advice, but you guys know. You all know. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. I have seriously run over my time. I do apologize for making this one long for everything, but it is what it is. It's good stuff to remember. The economy that will die, and blockchain will be what brings it back. It will, because it already is. Anyways, you all have a blessed day. I should see you at 4:30 this afternoon. I will let you know if that changes. Y'all be blessed.